Let's get real for a second. Life got a way of testing your temperature. You ever been in a season where everything hitting at once? The bills talking, your body acting up, friends disappearing, and God feeling quiet? You start thinking, yo, maybe I'm not built for this. But hear me, pressure don't expose weakness. It reveals wiring. And some of y'all don't even realize you've been engineered by grace for heavy loads. See, the enemy wants you to believe the fire gonna finish you. He whisper, you break easy. But nah, fam, you bend, you don't break. You cry, but you don't quit. You stagger, but you still standing. Faith ain't about looking fearless. It's about staying faithful when fear loud. You ain't made of glass. You made of glory. You don't melt. You mold. There's a reason God didn't keep you from the fire. He knew the flames would prove what he planted. You not burning. You being branded for purpose. Every scar you got is evidence you survived something designed to silence you. And I need you to hear me. Survivors don't just make it, they minister from it. Your pain got purpose. Your tears ain't wasted. They temper your testimony. Fam, you ain't soft for feeling the heat. You human. Even Jesus sweated blood before the cross, but he ain't fold. He faced it, prayed through it, and walked out with power. That's the same blueprint he left for you. Fire don't cancel favor, it confirms it. That's why the ones who go through the most glow the hardest. So, beloved, before we go any further, I need you to repeat this in your spirit. I ain't built to fold, not in loss, not in loneliness, not in lack, not even in the flames. The same God that stood in the furnace with 3 Hebrew boys is the same one breathing strength into your bones right now. Fam, the pressure you feel ain't punishment, it's preparation. You just entered the faith plus fire hour, where warriors get refilled and doubters get delivered. The heat don't scare us, it activates us. Fam, let's lock this in with the word, because scripture stay talking when everything else goes silent. James 1:2-4 says, count it all joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. And Isaiah 43:2 says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. Catch that. When, not if. God didn't promise a shortcut around the storm. He promised his presence in it. You're going to pass through it, not park in it. The trial ain't forever. It's a tunnel. And every tunnel got light on the other side. See, James wasn't preaching pain for fun. He was teaching perspective. He said, count it all joy. Not 'cause the fire feel good, but 'cause the fire feel God. Testing don't come to destroy faith. It come to develop it. You can't call it perseverance till you wanted to quit and still press through. Every trial you survive earns your faith a new layer of muscle. And Isaiah reminded us, the same God who walked Israel through deep waters gonna walk you through this heat. You not burning, you being built. Fire ain't final, it's formative. God ain't checking if you perfect, he testing if you persistent. That's why sometimes he let the temperature rise, 'cause heat reveals what's holy. Fam, I know you tired of hearing hold on, but understand, he ain't just stretching your endurance. He polishing your purpose. The pressure ain't to crush you, it's to crown you. Every test got testimony written all through it. You just can't see the headline till you survive the headline. So, beloved, count it joy, not 'cause you like it, but 'cause you're gonna outlive it. The same fire that scared you yesterday gonna serve you tomorrow. You ain't walking into destruction, you walking through development. And when you step out, the only thing burned off gonna be what ain't built for your next season. Fam, that's the word. Faith ain't fragile, it's forged. You in the fire, but the fire in you stronger. Fam, ever been in that season where you're doing all the right things, but it still feel like everything wrong showing up? You praying consistent, sowing seed, speaking faith, but the job dry up, the call don't come, the people you helped ghost you, and you start whispering, Lord, I thought obedience came with blessings, not breakdowns. But hear me, faith don't guarantee easy, it guarantees evidence. And evidence got to be tested before it's trusted. See, life gonna hit harder than your plan. You thought 2024 was gonna be the glow up year, and it turned into the grind down year. You thought the relationship was solid till it cracked under pressure. You thought your peace was permanent till one phone call flipped the script. And in that moment, your heart don't quote James. It questions it. You start thinking, maybe I ain't strong enough for this. But fam, strength don't show up till struggle knocks. You don't know how solid your faith is till it gets stretched. Gold don't shine till it meet heat. Diamonds don't form without pressure. And oil don't pour till something get crushed. So yeah, it hurt, but it's holy hurt. The pain ain't proof God left. It's proof he's still perfecting. And let's be real, faith don't always feel fireproof. Sometimes you cry while you still confess. You shake while you still trust. You doubt mid-prayer, but keep praying anyway. That's what I ain't built to fold really mean. It don't mean you never feel weak. It mean weakness don't get the final word. Beloved, the hardest seasons ain't the ones that break you. They the ones that build you different. Pressure seasons don't end with pity. They end with power. You learn how to breathe again, walk again, pray again, praise again. And that's when heaven smiles and says, now they get it. Fam, don't misread the storm. It ain't punishment. It's proof you got potential. You not losing faith, you learning endurance. And the next time life swing, you gon' swing back with peace in one hand and purpose in the other. Fam, let's talk about this generation's favorite phrase, protect your peace. Sounds holy, right? But somewhere along the line, protect your peace started meaning avoid anything that stretch you. Cut everybody off. Quit the moment it's uncomfortable. But hear me, sometimes peace ain't quiet. Sometimes it's earned through pressure. God ain't call you to hide from every hard thing. He calling you to hold in the hard thing till faith finish its work. See, comfort culture been selling us soft gospel. If it hurts, it's not for you. If it's hard, it's not God. But that ain't Bible. That's burnout disguised as boundaries. Moses didn't protect his peace by avoiding Pharaoh. David didn't protect his peace by dodging Goliath. And Jesus didn't protect his peace by canceling the cross. Real peace don't come from running. It come from resting in the fire, knowing who's with you. Fam, I get it. Some of y'all tired. The last fight drained you, and the last prayer felt like silence. You say, I just want peace, but deep down what you really want is relief. There's a difference. Relief ends when the situation change. Peace lasts even if it don't. Peace don't always mean escape. It often mean endurance. It's the quiet confidence that says, I'm still here even while it's hot. And here's the truth. Pressure ain't the problem. Pressure without presence is. When you invite God into the grind, the same weight that used to crush you starts shaping you. That's why Isaiah said, when you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. You not avoiding the flames, you learning to glow through them. Beloved, stop mistaking pruning for punishment. Stop calling growth drama. Every uncomfortable moment you survive is God stretching your spirit's capacity. The goal ain't a peaceful life. It's a powerful soul. Fam, protect your peace. Yeah, but don't protect it from purpose. Sometimes God let the pressure rise just to prove what he placed inside you. And when the smoke clear, you gonna realize you wasn't breaking down. You was breaking through. Fam, here's the wild part about fire. It don't just burn, it builds. What you thought was destruction was really construction. You ever look back at something that almost broke you and realize it actually birthed you? That heartbreak taught you discernment. That loss taught you gratitude. That rejection taught you direction. Fire don't just test character, it creates it. See, we pray for strength, but then complain about the gym. Like we say, Lord, make me unshakable, then panic when he starts shaking stuff loose. But the truth is, faith don't get forged in comfort. It get cooked in conflict. Gold don't get value till it's melted. And every flame that scared you was actually polishing your purpose. God don't waste no heat. Fam, I remember somebody saying, if it burned, it wasn't meant to stay. That hit deep. Some of y'all still crying over ashes that were never supposed to be altars. You keep mourning what God meant to remove. But understand, fire never takes what's essential. It only removes what's extra. The real you survive every time, and let's be honest, it hurt. Fire don't ask permission, it just exposes what's flammable. The fake faith, the shallow peace, the self-made confidence, it all gotta melt before the gold can shine. But once the smoke clear, you're gonna see something brand new in you. Stability. That's why the devil fear pressure season, because that's when believers start recognizing their own resilience. Beloved, you ain't walking through fire for nothing. You walking through proof. Proof that you durable. Proof that you different. Proof that grace built you to glow, not go out. God didn't let the flame touch what mattered. He let it train what's moving forward. Fam, the heat that humbled you is the same heat that crowned you. So next time the temperature rise, don't panic. Praise. Don't fold, focus. 'Cause now you know, flames don't finish faith, they forge it. Fam, let's tear this lie down right now. The one that says real faith means life get easy. That's not gospel, that's fantasy. Somewhere along the line, we started equating blessings with convenience. Like if it's hard, it can't be holy. But if comfort was proof of God's favor, Jesus would have been born in a palace, not a manger. Faith don't promise soft landings. It promises strong landings. See, this watered down theology got people thinking trials mean failure. If I'm struggling, I must have sinned. If I'm tired, maybe God left. Nah, fam. Faith don't shield you from the storm. It anchors you in it. God ain't the escape route. He the endurance. He don't remove the fire. He refines you through it. So stop treating every discomfort like a curse. Sometimes that tension is divine training. Fam, the reason faith feel heavy is 'cause it's stretching muscles you didn't know you had. You keep asking, why me? And heaven whispering, why not you? 'Cause pressure don't visit the purposeless. You've been trusted with trials, not targeted by them. The weight ain't punishment, it's promotion prep. And let's keep it real. Comfort never grew nobody. Comfort keep you praying safe prayers, singing soft songs, living small. But pressure make you cry different, worship different, love different. It strip the performance off your praise. It teach you faith that ain't built on feelings. Beloved, if you measure God by comfort, you gonna miss his character. 'Cause peace ain't found in the absence of problems. It's found in the presence of purpose. Even Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome. That's the blueprint right there. Expect fire, expect faithfulness. Fam, I know it's tough when the road rough, but that pressure, that's God's fingerprint on your development. He's proven you unbreakable. So don't confuse pain with punishment. It's polish. And polish always come before platform. Fam, let's talk about that holy exhaustion, when your mouth still say God's good, but your body whispering, I'm tired. You pray, you sow, you show up, but deep down, you feel drained. You believe, but barely. You got faith, but it's limping. That's called spiritual burnout, and it hit different when you still love God but don't feel the fire no more. See, we talk a lot about backsliding into sin, but not enough about backsliding into survival mode, where you still functioning but not flooring, still serving but secretly slipping, still posting scriptures but privately numb. And the church don't always know what to do with that version of you. They say, pray harder. But sometimes prayer feel like voicemail. You show up on Sunday, smiling through fatigue, hoping nobody asks how you really do. Fam, burnout happens when faith becomes performance instead of partnership. You keep pouring but never refilling. You keep serving but never sitting. You try to be everyone's strength while ignoring your own rest. But hear me, God ain't impressed by exhaustion. He's moved by surrender. Even Jesus took naps in storms. If the Son of God rested, why you feel guilty for taking a breath? And burnout breeds bitterness. You start resenting the same ministry you used to love. You start questioning promises you once shouted about. That's not rebellion, it's fatigue. And God ain't angry. He's inviting you to recover. Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That ain't a metaphor, it's a mandate. Beloved, burnout don't mean your faith dead. It means it's dehydrated. You've been running on fumes, trying to finish on empty. But this the refill hour. The same fire that once drained you gonna start sustaining you when you let grace carry the load. You don't gotta prove your faith, you just gotta pause in it. Fam, you not weak for resting. You wise. Even warriors need refilling. This ain't the end of your fire, it's the maintenance. God ain't replacing you, he refilling you. Fam, let's keep it 100. Some of y'all ain't scared of the devil. You scared of deja vu. Not the unknown, but the repeat. The last fire left smoke in your lungs. You still hear echoes of prayers that felt unanswered, still smell ashes from what you lost last time. And now every time pressure rises, your body tense up like, God, please, not again. That's called faith trauma. You trust him, but you twitch when he turns up the heat. See, when you've been through real pain, you start bargaining with blessings. Lord, I'll follow you, just don't test me like that again. But hear me, beloved, faith ain't allergic to fire, it's forged by it. God ain't trying to traumatize you, he trying to train you. The last storm didn't scar you to scare you, it scarred you to strengthen you. Every wound you survived added a layer of wisdom, not weakness. Fam, the fear of being tested again will trick you into living small. You'll start rejecting opportunities that look like old battles. You'll turn down doors that lead to destiny because they remind you of pain. But don't forget, just because it looked like the last fire don't mean it burned the same. This time you're walking in with armor built from ashes. You're different now. Your worship stronger, your discernment sharper, your spirit seasoned. And I get it, the memory still heavy. You flinch at the flame because you remember the loss. But Isaiah 61:3 says he gives beauty for ashes. Translation: God recycles your pain into purpose. What used to trigger you gon' soon teach you. The same thing that once burned you gon' bow to you when you walk through it again. Beloved, fear of the next test is just the enemy reminding you of your old report card, but God already upgraded your grade. You passed last time, you just didn't see the certificate. This new test ain't a repeat, it's a reveal. It's proof you've been promoted. Fam, the flame you scared of don't even know you leveled up. You ain't who you were last season. That's why you can walk through the same heat and come out holding new glory. The last fire tested your faith, but this one gon' testify for it. Fam, if the devil can't destroy you, he'll try to distract you. And if distraction don't work, he'll try to discourage you. That's his oldest play in the book. Get you to stop one prayer too early, walk away one day before it shifts, close the laptop right before the breakthrough email hits your inbox. The enemy ain't always fighting your faith. Sometimes he fighting your finish. See, hell don't fear starters, it fear finishers. Anybody can post new season in January, but not everybody still praising in November. You ever notice that the pressure always feel heaviest right before something breaks open? That ain't coincidence, that's confirmation. Resistance is proof of proximity. The closer you are to the miracle, the louder the opposition get. Fam, the devil can't take your destiny, so he trying to trick you into forfeiting it. He whisper, it ain't working. You too tired. Maybe God moved on. Nah, what if you're not losing? You're laboring. What if the delay ain't denial? It's delivery. Every seed got a dark season before it sprouts. And some of y'all about to quit in the soil when heaven already scheduled your sunlight. Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Proper time, not your time. You don't got to make the season. You just got to make it to the season. The harvest don't show up for the almost faithful. It shows up for the consistent. Beloved, I know the fire feel endless. You tired of starting over, tired of fighting battles that don't seem to end. But don't fold now. You closer than you think. The devil only pushed this hard when he's seeing something glowing in your future. Your faith been hitting pressure because your next level been loading. Fam, keep swinging, keep sowing, keep speaking. You ain't failing, you forging. Heaven keeping score, even when the crowd quiet. Don't die in delay, your due season already on the clock. Just don't clock out before it hits. Fam, here's the moment everything flips. The fire ain't the end of you, it's the evidence of you. You thought this heat was trying to finish you, but nah, it's forging you. You not falling apart, you fitting together. You not losing it, you learning it. Every test that came to expose you actually revealed what can't be broken inside you. The same flame that scared you is shaping you. See, there's two kinds of heat, one that destroys and one that defines. The first one burns wood. The second one bends metal. And you, beloved, you metal, built different, heaven tempered, pressure tested, fireproofed by grace. God looked at your blueprint before the battle ever began and said, yeah, they can handle this one. You don't walk into the furnace as punishment. You walk through it as proof. Isaiah 48:10 says, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. That's the divine blacksmith talking. He ain't melting you, he molding you. Every heartbreak, every closed door, every long wait was fire with purpose. God been shaping weapons out of warriors, and you just one hammer strike away from readiness. Fam, think about it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't meet God outside the fire. They met him in it. That's the switch up. We beg God to take away the heat, but he show up right in the middle of it and says, I'm here. The same flame the enemy thought would consume you just became the place of communion. Beloved, your faith ain't fragile, it's forged. And forged faith don't flinch at flames, it flourishes in them. This season ain't a breakdown, it's a blacksmith's bench. God's hand steady on your life, shaping your strength, stretching your shine. And when he pull you out the fire, you won't even smell like what tried to burn you. Fam, remember this. The enemy sent fire to finish you, but heaven hijacked it to frame you. The pressure you under now gonna be the proof you carry later. You ain't built to fold, you built to forge. Fam, let's run it back to the book of Daniel, chapter 3. 3 Hebrew brothers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, minding their own business when the system tried to make them bow. Nebuchadnezzar said, everybody worship the golden image or get tossed in the furnace. And they stood there like, I do what you got to do, king. We still ain't folding. That's fire faith right there, when conviction louder than consequence. So the king turned the heat up 7 times hotter. That's how life to you, right when you say yes to God, the flames rise. You're finally walking straight and suddenly the world on fire. But peep this. When they got thrown in, scripture says the guards who tossed them died, but the three men stood up unbothered, unbound, unburned. Then the king jumped up and said, "Didn't we throw three in there? Why, I see four." Whew. That's what divine protection looked like. God ain't outside the fire shouting advice. He in there walking with you. See, some of y'all think the fire means God absent, but that's where he most visible. He don't always pull you out the heat. Sometimes he join you in it. That fourth figure in the flames, that was the pre-incarnate Christ. Translation, Jesus made a cameo in the Old Testament just to show us. He don't wait for resurrection to rescue. Fam, notice what the fire didn't do. It didn't burn their skin, didn't touch their clothes. It only burned the ropes that had them tied. Come on, somebody. That means the fire you fear might be the tool that frees you. The same thing designed to destroy you gon' deliver you. Beloved, stop praying for God to cool the furnace and start asking him to walk in it with you. 'Cause if he in it, you safe, even when it's 7 times hotter. And when you come out, the same people who threw you in gonna have to testify, surely their God is real. Fam, this story ain't about survival. It's about revelation. The fire ain't failure, it's fellowship. Every believer who ever stood tall in the heat got that same fourth man grace. Fam, let's slide over to Matthew 14. The scene wild, waves crashing, wind howling, disciples tripping in the middle of the night. Then out of nowhere, they see a figure walking on the water. And they like, a ghost? But Jesus say, chill, it's me. Don't be afraid. Peter, always the bold one, said, Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come. And Jesus said one word, come. Now stop right there. Faith don't need a paragraph. It just need a word. Peter stepped out the boat on one syllable. He didn't wait for the storm to stop, didn't wait for the sea to settle. He just walked. That's fire faith. You don't wait for conditions to be calm before you move. You move because he called. But here's where it gets real. Peter started walking toward Jesus, but then he noticed the wind. He took his eyes off the word and started watching the waves. And the moment his focus shifted, his faith started sinking. That's how distraction works. It don't drown you fast, it drags you slow. You start watching the chaos more than the Christ, and suddenly you sink in situations you used to stand on. Fam, this ain't a story about failure. It's about focus. Peter didn't sink because he doubted Jesus' power. He sank because he forgot Jesus' presence. And the same hand that let him step out is the same hand that pulled him up. That's grace in motion. God don't let you drown in lessons he designed to grow you. And check this. When Jesus grabbed him, he didn't scold him for stepping. He questioned his doubt. Why did you doubt? Translation, you were doing it till you started looking at everything else. Fam, some of y'all walking on water right now. You just don't realize it. You surviving stuff that sank stronger people. You breathing in storms that buried others. You floating cause folk has been fighting for you. Beloved, next time the waves rise, don't panic, lock in. Don't measure the wind, remember the word. You don't fold when you focus. You walk on what used to drown you. Fam, hear me. Faith don't need calm seas, it needs clear eyes. Keep your gaze on Jesus and I promise, the same storm that tried to sink you gonna become your stage. Fam, let's talk about Job, the man who lost everything but refused to lose faith. The stories start with favor, wealth, health, family, peace. Then out of nowhere, the bottom drop. Livestock gone, servants gone, children gone, body covered in sores, wife saying, curse God and die. Who? If anybody had reason to fold, it was Job, but he didn't. He tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground, and worshiped. That's the level of faith that hell don't know what to do with. See, Job didn't deny his pain, he directed it. He didn't fake strength, he found surrender. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That's raw. That's ugly faith, the kind that cries and still confesses, the kind that sits in ashes but still says, God, you good. And that's where most of us miss it. We want faith to prevent pain, but God wants faith to outlast it. Fam, Job's friends showed up talking reckless, saying he must have sinned. But that's the thing. People assume your suffering means you wrong when it might mean you righteous. God told Satan, have you considered my servant Job? Translation, heaven nominated him for a test because he trusted him with the testimony. Some of y'all being tested, not cause you weak, but cause you worthy. And when the story flipped, Job got double. Double the flock, double the favor, double the peace. Not cause he fought for it, but cause he stayed through it. His faith became his currency. God never asked Job to understand. He just asked him to endure. Beloved, sometimes the miracle ain't that it ends. It's that you survive until it does. Endurance is a form of worship. Every time you don't quit, heaven applauds. Every time you get up one more day, the devil takes another loss. That's job level strength. Fam, I know the pain hit deep. I know the loss feel unfair, but your story ain't over. It's just mid-chapter. Job's life proves the same. God who let it shake will be the same one who makes it shine. Faith that endures fire always comes out with evidence. The devil took his stuff, but he couldn't take his stance. Fam, that's what I call fold-proof faith. You might bend in the ashes, but you rise in the aftermath. Fam, let's talk about this thing called the refiner's fire. You've heard it in songs, shouted it in church. Lord, purify me. But what we forget is purification ain't perfume, it's pressure. It don't smell sweet, it sizzles. When gold gets refined, the metal goes into the furnace till it melts. Every bit of impurity rises to the top and the refiner skims it off. Then he puts it back in again. Why? 'Cause real gold don't get ruined by heat. It gets revealed in it. Malachi 3:3 says, he will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. Don't miss that. He sits. He don't leave. While the metal's melting, the master's watching. The process hurts, but it ain't random. He's looking for his reflection in you. And when he can finally see his image clear in that molten metal, that's when he says, now it's ready. So if it still feel like fire, maybe he just ain't done polishing yet. Fam, when Samson stood between those two pillars, he prayed the prayer of a broken believer. Lord, remember me just one more time. Not make me famous again. Not prove my haters wrong. Just remember me. And God did. In that final moment, blind but bold, ashamed but anointed, Samson pushed with all his might, and the same temple that mocked him became the one he tore down. His last act of faith destroyed more enemies than all his years of fighting combined. See, that's grace math. It don't add up in human logic. Samson's worst chapter didn't void his purpose. It revealed his dependence. Sometimes your greatest victory comes after your biggest mistake, mate. Failure ain't final unless you stop reaching. Fam, this why you can't fold under refinement. God ain't punishing you, he's perfecting you. Every flare-up, every loss, every trial got purpose inside it. Some seasons he strip away people, others he skim off pride. Sometimes the heat touch your ego, sometimes your habits. But in every flame, he's forming focus. You ever notice how gold don't argue with the fire? It just yields. That's the level of surrender that turns pain into power. You stop asking, why me, and start whispering, do what you must. You realize the heat that once felt like judgment was actually grace in disguise, God refusing to let you stay impure. Beloved, it's an honor to be refined. God don't waste fire on the fake. He don't test plastic. It'll melt too quick. Only gold gets this kind of attention. So if your life feel hot right now, don't panic. Just know you precious. Heaven's hand ain't left the handle. The flame might flicker, but the focus of the refiner never fades. Fam, your story ain't burning down, it's burning through. Every impurity that used to hold you hostage is melting off one layer at a time. When you come out, you gon' shine so bright, even your haters gotta squint. Fam, let's talk about Samson, the strong one who slipped. Judges 16. Born with purpose, built with power, anointed from birth, but somewhere along the line, he started mistaking gift for guarantee. He played with the fire of compromise till it finally caught him. Delilah ain't the villain of the story. Distraction is. Every time he played games with grace, he got weaker. Till one day, he woke up bald, bound, and blind. The Philistines laughing, his enemies cheering, his eyes gone, his strength vanished. The same man who once killed lions now grinding grain like a slave. But hear me, failure didn't cancel his file in heaven. The same God who gave him strength gave him another chance. The Bible says his hair began to grow again. Translation, grace was regenerating beneath the shame. That's what mercy do. It regrows what mistakes shaved off. Fam, when Samson stood between those two pillars, he prayed the prayer of a broken believer. Lord, remember me just one more time. Niti, not make me famous again. Not prove my haters wrong. Just remember me. And God did. In that final moment, blind but bold, ashamed but anointed, Samson pushed with all his might. And the same temple that mocked him became the one he tore down. His last act of faith destroyed more enemies than all his years of fighting combined. See, that's grace math. It don't add up in human logic. Samson's worst chapter didn't void his purpose. It revealed his dependence. Sometimes your greatest victory comes after your biggest mistake. Failure ain't final unless you stop reaching. Beloved, maybe you've been bound by something that stole your fire. Maybe you think it's too late, too much damage, too many detours. But God said, push one more time. You might not see like you used to, but you can still move. You might have lost some strength, but heaven still recognizes your name. There's resurrection hiding in your repentance. Fam, Samson's story proves this. God don't need a perfect vessel, just a surrendered one. The comeback ain't about polish. It's about power through surrender. And even if this push your last, it can still make the enemy's kingdom crumble. One more prayer, one more move, one more push, and the walls gotta fall. Fam, this is where we shift from theory to training. 'Cause talking about not folding is one thing, but standing tall under fire, that's daily discipline. Faith ain't a vibe, it's a regimen. And endurance don't show up overnight. It's built like muscle through repetition, resistance, and rest. Let's start with prayer. Not the performance kind, the pressure kind. The kind that don't need fancy words, just honest breath. The kind where you cry, Lord, I'm tired, and heaven replies, I'm still here. That's your oxygen in the fire. Don't let flames silence your prayer life. Make 'em fuel it. Every help me is worship. Every whisper in the heat is warfare. Then there's purpose. Fire without purpose feel like punishment. But when you know your why, you stop panicking over how. Purpose gives pain direction. It reminds you the fire you facing ain't random. It's refining. You not just going through this, you growing through this. Every hit that didn't kill you clarified your calling. Every delay developed your discernment. You don't fold because you know what you're fighting for. And finally, persistence. The quiet strength to keep showing up even when nothing moves. You might not feel it every day, but faith don't need feelings. It needs follow through. Persistence ain't loud. It's loyal. It's waking up and choosing faith again when doubt feel easier. It's that steady, I'm still here energy that hell can't compute. Fam, prayer keeps you connected, purpose keeps you centered, and persistence keeps you consistent. You need all three to stay flame-proof. You can't pray and not persist. You can't persist and not remember purpose. Everyone feeds the other. It's a holy loop. Beloved, the next time life heat up, don't flinch, flow. Pray your way through it. Purpose your way through it. Persist your way through it. Because faith ain't proven by moments of comfort. It's proven by movement under pressure. And you moving different now. You don't fold, you forge. Fam, the fire don't just test your strength, it tests your self-image. Every battle you face got one main question underneath it. Who are you, really? Because the moment pressure rise, the enemy whisper, you're not built for this. But tonight, we flipping that script. You not panic-driven, you pressure-tested. You not fragile, you fortified. The same fire that tried to expose you actually certified you. See, identity under fire is where most believers lose footing. We start thinking pain mean punishment or struggle mean God silent. But nah, pressure don't define you, it refines you. The real you been hiding under comfort. The flames just burned off what wasn't you. That's why after every test, you walk lighter, less people-pleasing, less second-guessing, more divine confidence. Romans 8:37 says, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Not after the storm, in it. That means the crown don't come when it's over. It's forged while you fight. You don't got to earn this identity. You already carry it. Heaven stamped unfoldable on your soul the moment grace grabbed you. Fam, next time panic show up, pause and prophesy. Say it out loud. I'm built for this. This pressure ain't breaking me. It's proving me. This fire don't expose my weakness. It confirms my worth. The same mouth the enemy tried to silence now become your weapon. Every declaration is oxygen for your endurance. Beloved, stop walking like a survivor and start walking like a soldier. You not barely making it, you strategically moving through it. You not a victim of pressure, you a vessel for purpose. God ain't using the fire to punish you, he using it to publish you. That's why your name's still in the story. Fam, identity talk ain't hype, it's armor. You gotta know who you are before the next flame flare up. 'Cause when you rooted, the fire only refines your fruit. You can't fold when you know you forged. Say it till hell believe it. I'm pressure tested, not panic driven. Fam, let's keep it real. Some seasons don't cool off quick. You pray, you fast, you declare, but the heat stay high. And that's where fireproof faith gotta kick in. The kind that don't just shout when it's sunny, but still stands when it's smoking. Faith that don't melt when things don't move. Faith that says, even if it don't change yet, I still believe. That's the grown version of belief. The one that don't rely on outcomes to worship. See, fireproof faith don't mean you don't feel the flames. It means the flames don't control your focus. You still show up to church when your rent due. You still tithe when your pocket's tight. You still pray even when it feel like voicemail. That ain't delusion, that's discipline, ning? Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Translation, faith don't need receipts. It is the receipt. You don't wait for proof. You walk like it's paid for. Fam, faith stay fireproof when it's fed right. That means you gotta guard your input. Stop letting negativity narrate your day. Stop scrolling poison and calling it catching up. Feed your faith with what fuels your focus. Worship, word, stillness. Surround yourself with believers who pray more than they panic. Iron sharpen iron, but dull people dim fire. And don't forget, fireproof don't mean flawless. Even when the flames lick your ankles, you can still whisper, Lord, keep me. That prayer alone got power. Fireproof faith ain't built on perfection. It's built on perseverance. You not walking untouched, you walking undone but unburned. The smoke might follow you, but it can't settle on you. Beloved, every trial you face is teaching you new flame resistance. Every time you survive heat, your threshold expand. That's why what scared you last year don't faze you this one. That's growth in disguise. Fireproof faith don't panic, it pauses, it prays, it pivots. And that's why you shine different now. Fam, you ain't just going through fire, you learning to live in it. You not just enduring flames, you embracing them as fuel. That's fireproof living. That's unfoldable faith. When life stay hot, stay holy. When the heat won't drop, don't you either. Fam, this right here is the war cry for the weary. The moment where heaven reminds you, you not fragile, you forged. You didn't survive all that to shrink now. Everything you've been through, the heartbreak, the layoffs, the betrayals, the waiting seasons, it all built the backbone of a believer who don't bow to heat. The enemy thought fire would finish you, but God said, watch 'em rise. See, the difference between those who fold and those who flame up is focus. The folding ones see the fire and flee. The faithful ones see the fire and form. Pressure don't scare us, it shape us. Every hit refined your hunger. Every closed door toughened your trust. Every tear watered the ground you walking on now. That's why the devil can't recreate your resilience. It's handcrafted by God himself. Fam, you didn't come this far just to collapse. You a testimony in progress. The same God who stood in the furnace with the 3 Hebrew brothers is the same one holding you together right now. He ain't watching you burn. He's watching you become. And when you step out this season, you gonna carry a glow that don't fade. Listen, your fire ain't failure. It's the proof you chosen. It's the smell of transformation. You're not walking away from this looking like what you've been through. You walking out shinier, stronger, steadier. That's why hell's so mad. You survived the same flames it swore would silence you. Beloved, this the hour to rise. Straighten your back. Lift your chin. Declare it loud enough for fear to hear. I ain't built to fold. Not when it's hot. Not when it's heavy. Not when it's hard. You forged for this. You the one fire forgot how to finish. Fam, the same hands that held you in heat gon' crown you in glory. So don't flinch. Don't fade. Don't fold. You were designed to rise through fire. You not burning out. You burning brighter. Fam, take a breath. You still here. Still standing. Still glowing after everything that tried to dim you. That's not luck. That's legacy. The kind of endurance that can't be faked or borrowed. It's branded in your bones. You've been through enough fire to know now, this walk ain't about looking strong, it's about staying surrendered. And that's exactly what kept you, grace with grit. You made it through nights that had no light. You prayed through silence that felt like cement. You smiled when your soul was screaming. But look at you, unfoldable, flame-proof, pressure-tested. The same heat that scared you now respect you. That's divine evolution. You not the same believer that walked in. You hotter, holier, harder to shake. So tonight, this is your benediction from the fire. Keep your eyes steady when the smoke rise. Keep your faith steady when the noise grow. Keep your worship loud even when your world whisper in doubt. Every ember that tried to burn you became evidence that God still got you. Beloved, let the world know when you see me in the flame, don't feel sorry, feel inspired. 'Cause I'm not burning up, I'm burning through. This hour ain't about survival, it's about shine. You survived the furnace, and now you walking out carrying light for the next soul still inside theirs. So lift your hands right here, right now, and let your spirit say it with mine. I ain't built to fold, I'm built to forge, I'm built to finish, and I'm built to fireproof faith, fam. This ain't no bedtime sermon, it's a battle cry. Every time life tests you, remember this hour and the fire that didn't win. No, this ain't your Sunday school. This is YNB Spirituals. Book